So guys, in this next news story, a controlling husband murdered his wife before chopping up her body and storing the remains in their flat for a week, before then dumping the body parts in plastic bags and a bag for life in a river. Nicholas Metson had joked to police that Holly Bramley might be hiding under the bed when officers were searching for her, judge was told. The 26-year-old's remains were eventually found 8 days after she was last seen. The court heard Metson had a history of being cruel to animals, and it can be revealed that Metson had previously punished his wife by killing their pets in gruesome fashion. A source stated the killer once dumped Miss Bramley's new puppy in a washing machine, leaving her to discover the dead dog inside with the drum still spinning. On another occasion, Miss Bramley confided that her partner had killed her hamsters by putting them in a food blender and the microwave oven, and once fled to a police station with the pet rabbits to escape him. A source stated that Miss Bramley never explained why he had done it and said she believed the victim was controlled and manipulated by her husband. The source stated she told her she loved him, but the first time I met him, I took an instant dislike to him. He was a horrible man. There was just something about him that was a bit creepy. The court heard the pair, who had been married just under 2 years, were on the verge of separation when Metson repeatedly knifed her at their flat. Afterwards, he went online and he searched to find out what benefits do I get if my wife has died, and can someone haunt me after they die. The court heard Metson received a referral order in 2013 for a domestic assault on a previous partner. In 2016, he was also given a community order for 3 offences of disclosing sexual images relating to another previous partner. A year later, Metson admitted breaching a restraining order relating to the same victim. The prosecutor, Gordon Aspden KC, said police launched a murder investigation after body parts belonging to Miss Bramley were found in the River Witham, 10 miles from her Lincoln flat in March last year. Lincolnshire police had received a call expressing concern for Miss Bramley's safety on the 24th of March, and when Metson eventually answered the door, he claimed he had been the victim of a domestic assault from Miss Bramley the previous weekend, showing the officers a bite mark which the judge was told was most likely inflicted in self-defence by Miss Bramley whilst she was being killed. Mr. Aspden said there were bloodstained sheets in the bath, and he saw on the kitchen floor the flat smelt strongly of bleach. Metson claimed he had no idea where his wife was and told a pack of lies that she had left 5 days earlier with women from a local mental health support group. Police carried out a further search of the flat later that day, and Lincoln Crown Court heard the saw had now been moved into a cupboard, but there was no sign of Holly. The prosecutor added at one point Mr. Metson joked she might be hiding under the bed. Metson was arrested on suspicion of murder but gave a no-comment interview to police. Garden pruners, 2 knives and a claw hammer were also recovered from the property. At around 6 o'clock in the evening on March the 25th, a member of the public noticed a number of plastic bags in the River Witham, a village around 10 miles away from Basingham, and examined one of the bags. Inside was a severed hand. Police staff has recovered 224 remains of Miss Bramley's body from the bags, including her head, which had been shaved. It took a Home Office pathologist over 13 hours to examine everything, but such was the dismemberment, the pathologist was unable to establish an exact cause of death. Mr. Aspden said Miss Bramley's injuries went far beyond what was necessary to dismember her body. In short, after murdering her, he destroyed her. Prosecutor said CCTV from the tower block where Metson and Miss Bramley lived showed him using the flat lift to move the bags with the aid of a shopping trolley from their 14th floor flat to his car in the early hours of March the 25th, and later withdrew £50 from his wife's bank account. He said the most likely scenario is that Mr. Metson murdered Holly in the bedroom, dismembered her body in the bath, and then stored her body in the kitchen before bagging up her remains. The court heard Metson had recruited a school friend, Joshua, early the same morning to help dispose of Miss Bramley's body parts. The next day, a message on Hancock's phone stated that he basically paid him 50 quid for disposing of the body. Metson met his victim, who grew up in Lincolnshire at college and began a relationship in 2016, and Miss Bramley's mother read out a moving impact statement in court describing Metson as an evil monster who had given the family a life sentence of grief. Miss Bramley said Metson's controlling and coercive behaviour had also left the family unable to see Miss Bramley in the years before her death. Metson pleaded guilty to murder, and he had previously admitted conspiracy to pervert the course of justice by disposing of Miss Bramley's body. His pal, pleaded guilty to obstructing a coroner in the execution of his duty by helping to dispose of Ms. Bramley's body. In defence, Metson's solicitor argued Metson's diagnosis of autism spectrum disorder was a factor in the murder and said there was no evidence of planning or an intention to kill. The defence said something caused this young man to take this extreme course of action. So Metson, he was sentenced today at Lincoln Crown Court and he was handed a minimum of 19 years and 316 days. His friend Joshua Hancock pleaded guilty to disposal of a body with the intention to obstruct or prevent a coroner's inquest at the same hearing. He was also sentenced to 3 years and 3 months in prison for that offence and other offences. Metson, as I said, offered Hancock money to help him hide Holly before the pair were eventually arrested and charged after a lengthy investigation by Lincolnshire police. Speaking outside of court, DCI Jennifer Lovett, who was in charge of the investigation, said today Nicholas Metson has been jailed for life with the minimum time to serve 19 years and 316 days in prison for the murder of his wife, Holly Bramley, also for preventing the course of justice. So Joshua Hancock has been sentenced to 2 years and 6 months for the offence of disposal of a body with the intention to obstruct or prevent a coroner's inquest, and it's 3 years and 3 months in total with the other offences. Said Metson's behaviour was barbaric, and not only did he murder his wife, we now believe he also sought to dispose of her body in such a way that she could not be laid to rest. He tried to cover his tracks by telling friends that Holly had harmed herself, had been taken away by a local mental health team, and then had run away to be with a group of people from Manchester. He also tried to maintain that he was the victim of domestic abuse. Metson then paid his friend Hancock to assist him in the disposal of his wife's body. When confronted by Lincolnshire police, Metson continued his charade of lies, but after initial inquiries were conducted and his accounts began to unravel, he was arrested for murder. Hancock was arrested a few days later after evidence on his phone showed the arrangements Metson had made with him to dispose of Holly's remains. Holly was only 26 years old when she passed away. She believed that she was in a safe and loving relationship when she married Metson in 2021, but he betrayed that belief and took her future and life away from in a callous way. Nothing we can do can bring Holly back, but we hope that the sentence can help to start to bring some form of closure for her family, who have suffered a great deal of shock and pain. This sentence follows a lengthy investigation, and I'd like to personally thank everyone who helped to bring Nicholas Metson and Joshua Hancock to justice. I'd also like to thank Holly's family who have carried out themselves with dignity and grace and throughout their ordeal for their cooperation and support. Once again, I just want to say rest in peace, Holly, and my condolences go out to your family. And guys, once again, if you already haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel and please give this video a little like, as it will help with the algorithms and promote it to others as well. Big respect going out to each and every one of you. It's your boy GC. Keep it locked, keep it real.